welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. We're back with Mass Effect Andromeda and my first playthrough of the game, playing on hardcore difficulty. Well, last time we sort of planted our proper colony down on this here planet Eos, and yeah, it was quite easy to do that after all. Well, I mean, it was easy once we've cleared the vault, but you know what, that's absolutely fine. So we had a bit of a chat with a lot of people. That is mainly what we did last time, and we are gonna talk a little bit more to people because apparently someone in Medbay wants to have a bit of a chat with me as well. So why don't we start with that? Good thing too, because I need to learn where the hell Medbay is. So PB is in there. That is not entirely sure what this place is, but it's not the Medbay. That's just loadout and stuff like that. So where's Medbay when you need it? Restrooms, etc., cafeteria. Could it be... I mean, I need to learn where the bloody ship is. That's research stuff. Tech Lab 1 and Tech Lab 2, I suppose. That's
nice
Biolab. Hello.
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
Something on your mind?
Maybe.
Oh, she's a bit feisty. So I suppose, yes indeed, we need to talk to everyone. That's sort of what we're doing before we go back to the Nexus.
What the hell was that?
I know that look. It's just my biotics reacting to all this. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick though, like losing the old man.
So indeed, she was an Asari commander, which is quite interesting because she's indeed human. How does that work?
How does a human soldier get to serve with Asari?
Prove your biotics can rip an APC apart, and people get nervous. Funny that. The Alliance found me a cross-species military initiative in a hurry. Sent me to Fantasia to serve with the Huntress unit. One of the few places where my powers were welcomed. Your father made another one.
Alright, so what's up with you and my dad, then?
You were his second in command. Were you friends, too?
He was more a mentor than a friend. Prickly old bastard. But I respected that. People treat geniuses like they're made of cut glass. I didn't care how smart he was. I think he liked someone not caring.
Sure. You know what? It's all fine. Which way do I want to go here? You know what? Let's talk a little bit. I'm here for you.
I know it's not the same, but I'm a good listener.
I hope you're as good at being Pathfinder. I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
Well, that sounds good, and I can actually flirt with her as well. But I've sort of... Have I decided on PB? I'm not entirely sure I have decided on PB, I suppose. You know what, let's flirt a little bit here as well.
You, me, side by side? I like the sound of that.
A commando friend said something like that once. I explained I wasn't into women, however admirable they might be.
So
I said I'd still take a bullet for her. We were a team. Look, there's still the mission. A lot of dreams to fulfill.
Oh, well, she is not into women, I suppose. Alright, fair enough. So why did you come on this mission then in the end?
So what brought you out to Andromeda?
Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, see if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here.
Alrighty then. Oh, what the hell? Yes, indeed. Alright. We can obviously talk. It was something I was thinking about just then, but then the thought flew away from my head. Let's see a little bit more about Cora.
Hi there.
And now we can talk a bit more. Again, let's have a bit of a chat about the Asari commandos, because that's quite interesting.
What did you do while you were part of the Asari military?
4 years in a commando unit called Talane's Daughters. Part of the Council's cross-species military integration initiative. Your time defending Silva's expedition was probably more important. But we did good work. Peacekeeping is a full-time job, even in Asari space.
Alright, let's have a bit of a chat about your unit.
What was your commando unit like?
Janae and I were the youngsters. Tethys was our old lady sniper. Kalia patched us up, and Valenza prayed between firefights. Our CO, Nasira, led us all over the Athena Nebula and beyond. A huntress's work is never done.
Well, what about Asari space? Generally probably peaceful, yes. I don't think I've heard in the previous games so much about there being wars and, general unstableness in there.
Who'd pick a fight with the most powerful species in the galaxy?
Themselves, usually. Terrorists, cults, rogue Ardat Yakshi, people demanding a withdrawal from the Citadel. The Asari were spacefaring when our Roman Empire was new. Didn't fix all their problems. Sometimes you need commandos for that.
I see, that's fair enough. So, other military career advancements is... What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. How's your military career going?
You were in the Alliance before you became a huntress, right? What made you join up?
My biotics. I was still living on my parents' cargo freighter when they manifested. Untrained biotic power on a starship means accidents, but we couldn't afford a tutor. The Alliance had implants, the training, everything. Old history now. Your turn. Remind me why you came to Andromeda.
The Prothean digs woke us up to how much we don't know, and to what humanity's next leap might be. Then Dad's career collapsed. His AI research made him too toxic.
I heard. Must have changed everything for your family.
Well, and I did indeed dream of discovery.
I wanted to find worlds and secrets no one had ever seen, and Scott was itching for adventure. So, Andromeda.
None of you writers ever think small, do you?
Not really, no. Got any good war stories?
After 4 years with Asari Commandos, he must have some great war stories.
Nasira assassinated a Krogan warlord with a pack of playing cards once.
A pack of cards?
Choking hazard, apparently.
Wow.
Well, that's interesting. Anything else?
Any more Commando war stories?
Always liked Janae. She was only 200, and with me around, she wasn't the kid anymore. She was a biotic protege. I once saw her yank an AA gun right off its housing. Crushed a gang of slavers with it.
Ouch.
They didn't feel it for long. Janae was a good friend. Maybe she still is back there. Won't be a kid now, though.
That is very, very true. Right, more?
Any more Commando war stories?
Not just now. I'll try to remember a good one.
Alright, sure. So, do you have anyone special then?
Did you come out here with anyone? Maybe someone you served with?
I had my fun on shore leave. Nothing serious, though. Asari huntresses figure things out, but I was there for soldiering, not romance.
Alright, so what do you mean by figure out?
Does that mean fraternization is okay for Asari Commandos?
It'll happen, but usually only for one deployment. Asari don't usually stay with each other long term. After your 500th birthday, you learn some self-control.
That sounds reasonable, yes. So, what's up with the Asari arc? You were saying that not we, but you want to make sure that arrives as intended.
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
The Lucinia? Checking every comm that's coming in. Nothing concrete yet.
Alright, we apparently don't get much more than that.
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
Nothing new. Let's stay optimistic.
Alright, so she might have answers when there's answers, I suppose.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
Alright, so that's Cora chatted up. So she's in here. I wanted to check this, by the way, because I think, isn't this sort of real-timey? I think it is. So you were doing, yeah, this is the new team. Did you succeed? You did as well, lovely. Mission successful. We got some loot boxes, etc. And you are level 2. How well did you do, Kilo? You've also succeeded. A whole lot of XP there. And I believe that you indeed level up. So we shall send you out again. We'll send the smaller team for this. Mission fund seems to be... That's... yeah, that's silver, yes. Some cat. Kilo, you take care of that. And then the bronze stuff. Do we have some new stuff? Research data, loot box, material, etc., etc. High risk, high reward. Bribe attempt. We'll do... that's an Apex stuff. We don't need to do Apex. Foxtrot, you can do that one. Now, one thing that I haven't done. I probably have a bunch of boxes. Yes. Oops. Claim all rewards. There we go. Multiple rewards have been claimed and added to your inventory. Please check your inventory screen for more details. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because now I have absolutely no idea what the hell just happened. Alright then. What are you... I don't have anything new here. Alright then. So that's all good and well. Now do we have possibly Medbay... Oh, there we go. Omniblade, Iridium, credits.
I'm in the escape pod room.
We've already talked. It's fine. That's absolutely fine. Oh, hello.
Pathfinder, making the rounds. Slumming it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
Well, someone has to.
Hey, it's a dirty job. Are you the riffraff spokesman?
King, actually. You might want to bow. Otherwise, no telling what might fall off the Nomad when you're out there.
I'll take my chances. Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked in idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, gotta say, I was regretting joining the initiative.
Well, that I can understand. Absolutely.
Seems like life back there was pretty bleak.
Not gonna lie, it sucked. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties. No real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and, oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts on that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
Ooh, I can romance him. Don't necessarily know that I want to, though. I'll help you find that purpose, I think.
We're exploring this cluster. Eventually, the galaxy. If your purpose is here, we'll find it.
Then the question will be, what will I do with it? In the meantime, you just keep pointing this ship wherever you want it to go, and I'll make sure she can get there. Deal?
Deal.
Absolutely 100% fine. Anything else we can talk about?
Long time no chat. What's up?
We just talked, but sure. So, what's up with the Tempest?
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly?
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call, capital R, ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
Well, that's good. So you got any friends on here?
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me. The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
So maybe we should not have flirted with you. No. So, what did you do on the Nexus?
How tough was it on the Nexus all those months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
Absolutely. Probably not.
Can't say I have.
Well, let me tell you, it's tough. Wondering if you're gonna die from a critical malfunction, or maybe starvation, imagining which would be worse. But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever side you're on, you die a little when your brother, your teammate, becomes an enemy. We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
Isn't that the way of humanity, and I suppose all other races as well, possibly. So, who's under you, I suppose, in the hierarchy here?
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, veteran Suvi are my girls. Get along well, lots of mutual respect. PB's a real spark plug. I like her, but she's exhausting. And Drax's my kind of guy. Brash, takes no shit. As far as your Hyperion peeps go, the Doc's kinda nosy. Liam's good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
Well, I kinda want her to be by the book, I suppose.
Need somebody to keep the zoo in check.
Zoo? You calling me an animal rider? Ooh, can I be a mongoose? They're like cool cobra killers. No, wait, how about a crow? Smart, irreverent, obnoxious. That's it.
I'll take your word for it. What about Kello?
He's a pilot.
Which means...
He flies the ship.
we're leaving it at that then?
Does a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
That was a little bit fun. Alright
Good
then,
talking to you,
sure.
Gil.
So Gil
Anytime.
is the engineering person. Gotcha. Is there any way to see... Here we go. This is probably what I would have wanted before, yes. So Cora, we've talked with Suvi, Kallo, and PB. So where I am right now is over here. So we have Liam, and we're going to have to talk to everyone, don't we? So while we are here... while we're here, presumably I can come down a bit, but not really. Can I? Ooh, there we go. Perfect. So presumably someone's going to be in here.
Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Presumably, yes, indeed, a younger sister.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little?
Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
Oh, poor sister. Well, indeed, I guess it beats the Nexus, huh?
I would have done the same just to get off the Nexus.
That's not why I came. Sure, I want to explore the galaxy, but I'm really here to work. I know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best. We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
Well, that's cool and all, and I can flirt with her as well. Ooh, that's kind of interesting, but no. Yes, indeed, you seem to be the gun-loving kind.
Ability to haggle with the locals? Great. But please tell me you're also good in a fight.
Like I said before, Wrangler, Provisioner, Gunner, and everything in between. I do what I have to. We all have a personal stake in this. If it keeps going the way it's been, we're all dead. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know. We'll chat later?
Alright, so is that a side mission I already have? Not entirely sure, but let's chat a bit more.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
Well, it was an adventure, and that's what I like.
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving, and everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone. Bleh.
Point taken. I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
Well, kinda do, yes. Plans are useless. Okay, that's a little bit too free and, you know, out there. No. We are finding a home. That's why we're here.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
Absolutely. So what about those back channels, huh?
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
Alright, kind of predatory in some ways, because whose personal cache are you taking?
That just sounds like you're taking advantage of people.
Is it? I get people what they want, and they do want, or they wouldn't pay.
I mean, sure. So do you have anyone special?
Have anyone else here with you? Besides Sid?
No, just me and Sid. It's always been just the two of us.
No, I mean, someone special.
Special? Oh. You mean like... Oh. No, nothing like that. Who has time? What about you?
She is almost a little bit like Garrus on that, I think. Not entirely as awkward as he is, but a little bit.
Anywhere's gonna feel empty if you don't have someone to share it with.
A romantic? I wasn't expecting that. And again, the entire idea of leaving everything you know for a chance at something new is kind of romantic. Anyway.
I was about to say that yes, Ryder would absolutely be a romantic to do something like this in the end. So yeah, how did you join the initiative, or why?
How did you hear of the Andromeda Initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
Well, that sounds reasonable, yes. So, yeah, you were around Nexus on the at the time of the uprising. What was that like?
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't, and that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
Alright, that is fair enough.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Absolutely. So that's Vetra taken care of. Let's have a bit of a chat with Liam. And he is not that way. He is this way. He is inside this room.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Uh-huh. I'm not entirely sure what you need help with, but sure.
Right. What?
Never mind. BS for the requisition. So, finally time for that beer? And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
Hey, let's start with the hustle thing. What is that?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy Urban Search Terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch. All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded. Tastes better just thinking about those days.
You should absolutely save the beard. Alright, I do indeed kind of miss that.
I wanted exploration, to chase the cutting edge of Prothean research. I thought I'd found my calling. Seems like a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
Well, I mean, I've already sort of talked about that. I don't wanna... He's fine, but I don't wanna romance him. I don't necessarily know I had a life to leave. So just go for opportunity here.
I started in the Alliance, but it was the science that kept me going. And when that ended, well, if I wanted to be a part of the next big discovery, it had to be here.
Oh, I don't hear idealist a lot. Everyone's cynical.
Back at you, Costa. Why'd you come?
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story. But it's bullshit. I had family, friends, a good enough job, nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
Well, that seems fun as well. It kind of puts the pressure on us to actually succeed, you know, but I'm sure we will be up for it.
If it all goes wrong, it could feel like we left for no reason.
I know why I'm here. A bad start can't change that. I won't let it. In crisis response, I'd focus on essentials. That's you and this team. Pathfinder leads to planets, leads to people. You've got your part covered, you got this. I'll do my damnedest to help with the rest.
Alright, that's absolutely fair enough. And we have a little bit of a painting here. Let's chat a bit more.
Prodromos. Sounds good, doesn't it? We started Pathfinder. A new life. That is goddamn brilliant.
It absolutely is, and it's all thanks to me. Now what about you?
You barely covered how you joined. Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it'd all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
So what was your career history like then?
You were a cop, then crisis response? Couldn't have been long in either.
Didn't have the patience for law, so I figured enforcement. Dad knew it didn't fit before I did. But it got me into hustle. They mostly take vets and retired service. Best years of my life.
Yeah, it kinda seems weird to have you as a cop though, yes.
An impatient rookie, frustrated by procedure. That's overdone.
I know, right? I wanted new, and I got it. And that led me here.
Alright then, so what about your family?
Tell me about your family.
I miss the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right? That's the thing everyone does. Mom Joelle, Dad Calvin. Both lawyers. Met on the Citadel, settled on Earth. No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
Well, not so traditional, no.
Life with my family was not typical on a number of fronts.
You may do though, right? Family has to. I know mine did. I said goodbye to my mom and dad and got on a ship to Andromeda.
Alright, fair enough.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
So, not too much more out of you for now. Okay, so back to the map, because this actually does help. Yes, indeed, it is here. Drac and Sam. Well, I've talked to Drac already. I think it was Lexi who also wanted to have a chat. So, how do I... How do I get there? Can I... Well, this doesn't lead anywhere, does it? Yes, yes it does. Medbay, here we go. I found it. Okay, so it's at the back here. Fine.
You're not Harry.
The blue give it away? Habitat 7 was a little more action-packed than Harry bargained for. He decided to spend his retirement years in the Hyperion looking after your brother.
Alright, fair enough.
Joke's on him. Scott's a handful.
I think you're both trouble. Hold still.
Ow!
Sorry.
I remember you having a gentler touch.
Still trying to get my bearings. Thought I'd be waking up colonists, not taking care of the Pathfinder.
Well, you'll be great at it.
I couldn't be in better hands.
I just stabbed you.
We all have off days.
I always hoped to work in the field, but everything's happening so quickly.
Focus on the positive. It helps.
I guess this is my opportunity to study alien species firsthand. Getting a Ket specimen aboard the Hyperion would be difficult, but here...
What?
A Ket corpse. For autopsy. A live subject would be better, but I'm not greedy.
Why do you care about the cat?
Harry didn't tell you? I'm a specialist in alien anatomy. My thesis on Krogan virility and aggression is what got me in the initiative.
Well, you are indeed full of surprises. Let's flirt a little bit.
I had no idea. I'd love to hear more. Over dinner, maybe?
Oh. Thing is, Ryder, you're not my type.
What's your type?
Not a patient. I need to be able to look at you clinically, without distractions.
Am I distracting?
Not nearly as much as you think you are. But we were discussing the Ket. An autopsy could teach us potential weaknesses, average lifespan.
Right.
Just something to think about. Sam, make sure the Pathfinder eats her vegetables.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, whoa, whoa, she went away. It's kind of interesting that they have gone really deep with the romancing thing. You can basically romance everyone, even sort of side characters, or at least try to. Obviously, it's not gonna work with a lot of them, but still kind of fun that they did that. Although it's a little bit cheap in some ways, I think.
So we have a stowaway.
You mean PB?
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods. You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
Indeed, that sounds reasonable, yes. So we can talk to you about crew morale. Yes, what's up with that?
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality. Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files and my brain by species.
Alright, let's start with the human crew.
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
So let's start with Cora.
How's Cora doing?
She's processing. Your father was her mentor. She expected to follow in his footsteps, but he gave the role of Pathfinder to you. Just because she trusts his judgment doesn't mean she's not confused. Or hurt.
Well, yes, that is basically what we got from her. And Gil?
Gil?
Gil likes to use humor as a defensive technique. He'd rather bury himself in the Nomad than tackle emotions head-on.
Ah, yes. Kinda figured that out, too. We haven't really talked to Suvi, though.
Suvi okay?
She's remarkably adaptive. I'm kind of jealous.
I mean, could we talk... I think I tried talking to both her and the Solarian, who I've now forgotten the name of, and Liam.
How's Liam?
A handful. Every time I patch him up, he breaks something new. Liam's we can't lose attitude is commendable. But I worry how he'll react when something does go wrong.
We'll see that when the day comes. So what about the non-humans, then?
I'd like to check in on the non-human crew.
Ask away.
Callow, that's his name. Alright, what about PB?
Is PB alright?
She's avoiding me. Probably thinks I'll poke her with a needle if she gets too close.
To be fair, you're always giving me shots.
Not in the hallway.
Aw. Alright, Vetra then.
Tell me about Vetra.
Vetra's used to having someone depend on her. I think that's why she's so resourceful and likes providing for other people. That being said, I think she could use a little me time.
Probably a good idea, yes. Callow, that's his name. What's up with him?
How's our Solarian?
He's quite the gossip. Tight-lipped about himself, though.
Might try to get him to open up a bit. And Drac, finally.
Is Drac good?
That old bastard's always good. I've never met anyone who can be so stubborn and so appreciative. Could you look out for him, Ryder?
Absolutely, I will.
Don't worry, Lexi. I'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you. And maybe don't mention I asked?
Ooh, are you a little bit interested, possibly?
Thanks for the insight.
Who knows? So, apparently... Ooh, we can ask you about the memory fragments. What's your take on that?
I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory. Things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel. From when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
Well, it probably was a turning point for him, yes.
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this.
Alright, so what about Harry then? He is the guy that was in Medbay on the Nexus, I believe.
How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
That's kind of cool. So, yeah, how did you become a doctor?
How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer. I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands. They put every credit they earned into my education.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war. Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
Well, that's very sad. I don't have anything to say about that, just staring blankly at her. Alright, so how did you come to join the Hyperion then?
So how did an Asari doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
Yeah, I was wondering about that last time, why there were other races on the human ark. That is a bit weird, but yeah, okay, fine. She knows about humans, so cool.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Absolutely. I also noticed a datapad here. Let's check that. From Harry. You don't need an old man a few hundred years your junior to tell you you were ready for this. I'll do it anyway, because I know it's true. You keep your rider safe and I'll do the same with mine. So, what's up with Scott? Do we have any news on Scott? I have no idea. I think that he's gonna be problematic, let's just say. I think that he's gonna maybe not be alive for too long. Alright, that's crew info board. Alright, there's some stuff here. Null entry for dinner tonight. Sorry everyone, I forgot we were taking turns and the rations aren't unpacked yet, from Callow. And some comments on that. You got you covered, Callow. There's soup in the galley, Dexter only leaving for me, and fruit cocktail. And I think we might have left port without you. Oh, good job, Vitra. From Cora, found a mug yesterday near the biolab. Nice one with a magnetized base. You left it stuck sideways to a bulkhead. That's apparently Suvi's. That's mine. I just put it down for a sec when my hands were full. And next time, maybe empty it first. Oh, that's probably good, yes. And Drac and PB are indeed on here. So from Cora. I finished the assignment paperwork for the Nexus. I had to fudge a few details, but you're both officially members of the Pathfinder team. Welcome. And Drac, I just want to check in publicly about what I said. So from Drac, relax Harper, the best headbutt is always the one you don't see coming. And yes, indeed, she'll keep that in mind. Alright then, so that's all fair enough. So we are here. I did speak to Drac and Sam is there. We don't need to speak to Sam. Have we talked to everyone else? I think we have talked to everyone. We'll head over to the bridge, because Suvi and Callow is there, and see if they want to talk to me as well. Alright, hello people. Suvi, do you want to chat?
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
Well, I suppose there is beauty in it.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon. Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
Oh, are you a little bit on the religious side then?
You mean a god? Yes. I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
Alright, that doesn't necessarily have to be a contradiction, but I'm not gonna be that mean, even though, yes, probably. But, I can say I feel the same way. Well, I'm not gonna say that. Alright, fine. It does seem a little bit... almost indeed mean to say this, but I'm not gonna say I feel the same way.
There's nothing about the universe that suggests a divine intelligence. And most of what we've seen in Helios is artificial, as you said yourself. Yes, but we're creative beings. Whoever made the Remnant was too. Why should that be proof against a god? Wouldn't a true creator want to pass on the drive to invent?
Well, I mean, Supposedly. Alright, not gonna flirt with her, I don't think. Well, so again, if that is the case, why, I mean, that is such a stupid question, really. But again, I feel really mean going here, so let's be a little bit inquisitive at the very least, even if it's a bit of a stupid question.
If everything was set in place by some mysterious creator, why even be a scientist?
If I have reverence for a creator, how could I not want to study their creation? My faith does not hinder my work as a scientist. It encourages it. My senses tell me what the world is, science shows me how it came to be, and religion tells me why.
Well, there you go. Alright, then, indeed, I hope I didn't offend you, at least.
I apologize if I offended you. I can be insensitive.
You're fine. Being challenged forces me to dig deep in my beliefs. It's healthy. Now I should probably update the rest of the team with my latest reports. We'll talk later.
Sure thing. How about right now?
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Party time!
Wild remnant parties? What else would you use it for?
Well, that's a thought. You don't really think they... Oh, joking, I see. Good one.
Well, she's a bit awkward, yes. Alright then, let's have a bit of a chat about the team on... your team on the Nexus.
I take it you work closely with the Nexus science team?
I try to keep in contact with them. We discuss anything and everything we discover out here. After all, many brains are better than one, and Dr. Aridana is worth 2 or 3 at least. I work best when I have other people to bounce ideas off of.
Alright, so what about Andromeda scans? What am I asking about here?
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't her tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The Initiative obtained data from an array in deep space, a Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
FTL sensor. So a faster-than-light telescope? They could survey Andromeda as it was?
Not exactly, but it cut down the lag by enough. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
Well, that is actually interesting. It's fun that the Geth can be a part of this game as well.
Did my dad know about this? Why didn't he tell me?
It's possible he didn't know. The Geth are isolationist and hostile. Using the info, even obtaining it in the first place, probably crossed a lot of boundaries.
Hey, when did the Geth become hostile? In Mass Effect 3, they are on your side by the end of Rannoch. That's weird. Alright, fine. So what's your take on the terraforming of Eos and potentially other planets?
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
That sounds fun. So, what about the Scourge then? How are we doing with that?
What do you know about the Scourge?
We established that it's artificial. Someone put it there. Or they did something that caused its creation. We don't know why. That's still a mystery.
Alright, fair enough. So, yeah, let's just quickly ask about her faith as well.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist
Convinced me even more, especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again, they were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist, an inventor, not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
Ah, yes, you see patterns where there aren't any. What is that called? Oh, I just very recently saw, or rather heard that word. I don't remember it now, but basically, yes, indeed, you see symbols, etc., in places where there aren't any. That is why, for example, a lot of religious people do believe that DNA is, for example, a code language, so to speak, when in fact it doesn't, or rather, when in fact it isn't really that, etc. All right, fine, fair enough.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
And we'll round the episode off with talking to Callow, see what he has to say about, well, everything.
Glad you stopped by. You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
Well, it can be a little bit exhilarating, yes.
I could stand here and drink in that view all day.
When I was test piloting the ship back home, I often did. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
Well, in your situation, I would have done the same.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still happening. Though I suppose with the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
Well, that's, I would not have want to have that kind of a photographic memory, no. So, do you know anything about the Solarian Arc, then?
Did you hear anything about the Ark back on the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Well, you have Tan, and he's just lovely, isn't he?
Cheer up, Callow. We'll always have Director Tan.
That snide little bureaucrat? All the more reason to find the others. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time.
Absolutely, and that time is going to be right now. Hello.
What can I do for you?
Well, right. Do you have stories about the Tempest, then, other than what you just told me?
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy. Legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
Oh, so we could have had more than this one? That's pretty sad that we don't, but okay. So, yeah. I want to know more about Solarians, apparently.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask, we're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
That sounds good, yes indeed. So, what do you think about the rest of the team?
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
Aw, that's cute. But, yeah, come on.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I'll admit it, Gil's rather irritating. He insists on redesigning systems rather than maintaining them.
He likes to do things his way.
That doesn't make it the right way.
Alright, let's keep asking.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Liam's quite fun. Not many humans have that kind of energy. I probably shouldn't have told him there are secret compartments in the armory, though. He's been looking all day.
That probably was not so clever, no.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Dr. Tapero seems nice, if quiet. It must be very different here, compared to the Hyperion. Fewer people in stasis shock.
Let's keep it that way.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Given Drax's history with Solarians, it's probably better I just stay out of his way. Too bad. That grunion roast he makes smells delicious.
Well, you're just a pilot. He probably won't feel so bad about you, I hope.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I like PB. But I really hope she doesn't lean on the escape pod's manual release by accident.
Is that easy to do?
It's an escape pod. If it's difficult to use, you're doing it wrong.
That is true, but also, I mean, it's only her we'll be losing, so it's kind of fine.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Vetra's very kind. She actually got hold of some dried seaweed snacks for me. Said I needed feeding up.
Well, that's also very cute. Good for her.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I don't talk to Cora much. She always seems so busy. There are things I'd like to ask her about your father, but it never seems like a good time.
Well, it probably won't be for some time, though.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Oh, if I gossip anymore, I'll get in trouble.
So yes, that is a little bit what Lexi said, yes indeed, that he is a gossip. We can apparently also ask about more stories about the Tempest.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Her engine's based on the Ark's Odyssey drive, which got us through dark space. The core takes the static electricity it generates and stores it in capacitors. We basically make our own power supply. It took Serena and Tion weeks to get it working on a smaller ship. And a few electrical shocks.
Well, that's good that it was only a few of them, and not many, and deadly.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Our aerospace engineer was Tianada Vasmore, a Quarian fellow, and absolutely fearless. Once, some Omega scrap dealer pulled the "we don't sell to Quarians" nonsense. Tion found a workaround.
What did he do?
He glued a memory foam to his environmental suit, then, during the negotiations, leaned against the drive core he wanted, very casual. It made a perfect mold of the components, and the scrap dealer was none the wiser.
That was very ingenious, yes.
Tell me something else about the ship.
The glass on board? It's actually a clear oxide and nanofiber compound. It bends rather than shattering.
How tough is it? We're only an arm's length away from hard vacuum.
Our testing involved 3 drunk Krogan with sledgehammers and a C-Sec battering ram. It's sturdy.
That's pretty cool.
Tell me something else about the ship.
O'Connell, our systems designer, was running a power distribution model, how power moves through the ship. But he forgot to lock his terminal and we, added a few embellishments. For 2 days, poor O'Connell was convinced that turning on all the bathroom lights would overload the engine core.
Ah, some nice pranks between colleagues. Lovely.
Tell me something else about the ship.
I'm all out of stories for now. Sorry. You'll have to make some new ones.
I will try to do that.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Alright, then I think that we've talked to everyone, so not exactly what I expected to do in this episode, but we did. So next episode then, we are going back to the Nexus. We have a couple of things that we need to do over there, and we need EOS to just work a little bit more before we come back to it. And of course we have other places to go, other systems to go to. We've only been in this one for now, so we have others to go to, and we do have other Remnant vaults to go to. So next up, back to the Nexus, deliver some side missions and stuff like that, because we have done a few at least. So yeah, that is coming up. For now though, this has been ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.